Mr. Ian Blackford.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and can I thank the Prime Minister for an advance copy of her statement. This government really is spluttering forward in a haphazard, chaotic way. There are, of course, outstanding political concerns still to be addressed by the EU27 this Sunday. Central to this political declaration remains the matter of fishing rights, a matter critical to Scotland. Mr. Speaker, a week ago, Scottish Conservative members in this place wrote to the Prime Minister. They said, at the end of the implementation period, we must be able to negotiate access and quota shares with the EU and other third countries independently. This means that access and quota shares cannot be included in the future economic partnership. The political declaration agreed today, paragraph 75 states, within the context of the overall economic partnership, the parties should establish a new fisheries agreement on inter-ally access to waters and quota shares. Mr. Speaker, there we have it. Scotland's fishing community is once again a bargaining chip used by a Tory government in Brussels. Worse, the detail in the draft withdrawal agreement has pitted fishing against aquaculture, access to water versus access to trade, making plain, once again, that Scottish interests are expendable. Just as was the case when the UK entered the then EEC under the leadership of Ted Heath, when the Conservatives traded away our fishing rights, they have continually done so. Mr. Speaker, Scotland's fishing rights thrown overboard as if they were discarded fish. So much for taking back control, more like trading away Scotland's interests. This is an absolute dereliction of the promises Scottish Conservative members and the Secretary of the State for the Environment, Food and Rural Affairs have made to Scotland. Shame on them. Will the Prime Minister tell the House if her Scottish MPs and Secretary of State have agreed to this political declaration? Is it not the case that she has just lost further critical votes on the deal because the Scottish Tory MPs could not possibly vote in favour of this sellout of Scottish fishing interests?
Mr. Speaker, I think it would be helpful for the right honourable gentleman if I repeated what I said in the statement. We would become an independent coastal state with control over our waters, so our fishermen get a fairer share of the fish in our waters. We have firmly rejected a link between access to our waters and access to markets. The fisheries agreement is not something we will be trading off against any other priorities. We are clear that we will negotiate access and quotas on an annual basis, as, for example, do other independent coastal states like Norway and Iceland. And can I say, well, the right honourable gentleman may choose to shout at me from a sedentary position, but I have to say to him he devoted all of his response to my statement in...
Order. No, I understand the right honourable gentleman adheres very strongly to his position. It's in the nature of holding an opinion. But he must hear the response from the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The right honourable gentleman devoted all of his response to the issue of fishing. He is sitting there chuntering from a sedentary position that this is a sellout of Scottish fishermen. I will tell him what a sellout of Scottish fishermen would be. It's the policy of the Scottish nationalists to stay in the